Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
We could use the assistance, that's for sure. The gas leak has made our automechs a touch unreliable.
Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Outsider.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Ambient xeranium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Best look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce. Greetings, potential customer. State your business. Initiating commerce.
See you soon, I hope.
Lived on, infant grandson, our current sovereign. May he reign long and his grief diminish. We thank the matriarch when we bask in her grandson's kindness.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Welcome. Glad to have you back.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. Hazel should get you sorted right quick, assuming she has the parts. She's right between the barracks and the main gate. Can't miss her. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. No, we wouldn't. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. As a matter of fact, yes. Recently, when the crates by the wall got too high, it began stacking supplies on the catwalk above.
I'd gather that their automech programming is just as rigid as the rest of their society. Meaning, this automech didn't misplace anything.
Logic can be a funny thing, you understand. One misstep can have the most peculiar results. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia? No. I doubt she stole what I would have given her freely. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Uranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zeranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zeranium? Indeed, someone lacking a trained eye would have missed the symptoms. However, I happen to specialize in this particular malady. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Somewhat vague, but entirely understandable. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense. Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Commander, I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
You're back. And you've been cavorting with Zeranium again, by the looks of things. Certainly. There is a nominal cost for treatment to cover essentials. All right then. Hold perfectly still. There. All better. Was there anything else you needed?
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
pack. Out!
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Good, then it's not too late for you to turn back. You must have spied those nefarious crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army. You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble! I saw the whole thing while I was out patrolling the beach looking for Crabble clutches. The Dragoon was patrolling as well, and a Crabble calf wandered a mite too close. Not anymore, they're not. Before I know it, pow! Crabble obliterated! At first I thought I was bearing witness to the first casualty in the Great Crabble War. But the Dragoon finished off the herd, or consortium, or whatever Crabbles have, then continued along the coast toward the landing pad. That's all I know. War has not officially been declared yet, but I'm a patient man. Getting better, I think. The Crabbles have seemed less menacing of late. Maybe our resolve has worn down their warlike spirit. Or maybe they're just biding their time.
Nice.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. What happens to any member of the Protectorate who falls short of fulfilling their lifelong oaths of service? Execution for the unworthy, and mental refreshment for the salvageable and the stalwart. Dereliction of duty is a heavy offense, and no lesser sentence will fit the crime. I hold myself to the highest standard, but this uranium leak, it threatens all that I hold dear. I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak. What have you done? The uranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. No, touch nothing, do nothing. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks and worse will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions. And with the island's fall, I may have dealt a crippling blow to the Protectorate itself. Our foes will use this place as a stepping stone, eating their way deeper into Eden like ravenous maggots. And it will all be my fault. I'll be remembered, if any of us is, as the one who lost it all. Yes, I suppose I have. Now please, leave me be.
susceptible to danger. Duplicity. Cut weeds that grow. No sign of subversive.
Back in business.
Focusing sensors.
I can see the door, but ain't a way to reach it from here. Guess we'll have to take the long way around.
shot!
Medical pack, out! Back in business.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
What can I do for you this time? At last, the tide is shifting. Today, we fix our automechanicals. Tomorrow, we push the unprincipled interlopers of Auntie's choice into the sea. You've done us a great service, stranger, and I would see your efforts rewarded. Alas, we don't have much to offer since our supplies are so low. I hope these bits will suffice. We confiscated them from the corpses of the scouts who attempted to infiltrate this facility a few weeks back. It carries the invaders' taint, but it should spend just the same. Perhaps you're right. Accept this with my gratitude. Now I can show our chief mechanist that he was wrong, and a little uranium poisoning won't do those automechs any harm.
Well, look who it is. What is it this time?
I wish I shared the Marshal's confidence that our problems were behind us. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the Marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Outside.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant
Welcome back.
work to govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign.
Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind.
Where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty
That is most excellent. Please, hand them over.
to arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust.
Yes, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose.
Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now.
Correct. At least if you want to emerge safely out the other side. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It'd save many lives.
Treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing Protectorate law.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant.
Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox Relay. Conscript him with the writ. And this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen.
Sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful.
If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup.
You are the raw material for perfection.
Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse. Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. Farewell now.
can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons or the base individualists. Prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now.
I hear correctly that you brought us automech parts? Why, thank you kindly, outsider. No. Frank.
Feeling distracted, daydreaming on the job. Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go down.
You have the gratitude of everybody in Westport, especially me.
To inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are...
Exciting news! The Vigilance sent that outsider to collect automech parts for us, and they just returned. Just the plan. Preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
You've returned.
I wish everyone's neighbor Prudence was my actual neighbor. Except my domicile is presently underwater.
Right now, the paradigm needs our houses underwater. Is now a bad time to report myself for mental refreshment? I wouldn't want to be inconvenient.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses.
But then, how?
Stay true, outsider.
Logical network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign.
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope, as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it.
Sometimes challenges do arise.
Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintraut.
Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any
Why, that's wonderful. I'm actually quite relieved a fellow customer like yourself somehow saw through my carefully maintained act. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are...
Why, they are certainly inspiring. There's this one character who just laughs at danger, says he hand makes his own luck. Is that not the grandest thing you ever heard? You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order.
If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell.
Sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
Ugh, my uncle's child. That side of the family is obstinate and mean. No, I'd hardly risk life and limb trying to convert her.
Didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us.
That seems neither prudent nor wise. I value my neck and do not intend to hang.
Time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful.
Oh, did you have another mission in mind? One especially designed for my unique talents?
Dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the...
Really? What was he like? Bold? Assertive? With a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
The raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Is that so? Do tell me more.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as
Oh, anywhere. What were your impressions of the man? How did he seem to you?
The pleasant atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the...
Quite different from what the Protectorate told us of those in Fairfield. An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
To arise, we all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust...
With a full case, I might gorge upon such sweet goodness morning, noon, and night. All right, hand it over. Oh, but what would Vigilant Hogarth say? What would everyone say? I can scarcely imagine it. Abandoning my community only to satisfy my gastronomical urges and risk-taking attitude. No, I couldn't leave unless Hogarth ordered everyone to go.
As ever, but prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
I'd say so, but I'm not some highly skilled subversive type or some such. You are. I'm certain you can find a way, somehow.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure.
As a recent convertee to Auntie's Choice, I'd be honored to share my maverick, individualist perspective. Well, I can tell you someone who thinks he's important. Pinckney. Ever since he became interim chief mechanist, he's been crying day and night about that generator. If anything happens to that thing, I worry for his mind.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it.
If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell.
Human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant.
Ugh, my uncle's child. That side of the family is obstinate and mean. No, I'd hardly risk life and limb trying to convert her.
The sovereign to guide them here on Eden.
That seems neither prudent nor wise. I value my neck and do not intend to hang.
Of contentment and plenty. We have
Of course. Toodaloo.
time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous. Stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant.
Matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed...
refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a appropriate locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants of the business due to instances
didn't have the firm, benevolent hand. The sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we are in a full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty.
Exciting news! The Vigilance sent that outsider to collect automech parts for us.
You have the gratitude of everybody in Westport, especially me.
Or stressful, food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to exalted vigilantly, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Bet we can sneak in there. Want to give it a try, Commander?
You have not brought my cousin to heal? Have you at least seen about Ida? Do hurry. I might remind you that I am on increasingly borrowed time.
Eyes up. Outsiders approaching the south gate.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Ugh.